Welcome back to All the Crackers in the Box. Hi, it's me, your friend Corey. We're going to take a look at my circular poncho. I'll probably take a look at my bulkier one because I have two on the go right now because you know me, I got to have 1,000 things on the go just in case I don't feel like it. And the main reason is sometimes I don't want to be stuck with working with this one when I could have a project with this one, depending on how I feel like I want to. Yeah, because sometimes the smaller ones just are not happening for me and I just need something big and chunky and easy to use, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way. It's nice on the hands. Let's get going. Okay, so my vintage pattern. I'm just going to pull these guys over and we're going to put you right beside me because I'm not using you right this second. However, inside my magic crochet book from 1991, we are going to open and I'm going to show how much I've gotten done. This is where we're at here. Okay, we're just going to get a little bit more play here. Thank you. Thank you. Pull this to the back and this is where we're at on my circular poncho. So I am going to tighten this up a little and pull this string through so it's a bit thicker, but it is working up so beautifully. I mean, holding it up is not giving me the option to show it as well as it could be shown. And that's going to be the medallion in my back. So that's how I'm starting it. We are getting close to where I want it to get the green. Let's just take a little peek here. This is roughly what I'm making. I'm roughly about here, I believe. I think. Or am I here? It's hard to say. Let's see here. Take a peek here. Got those there. Yeah, so we're right about here. So I'm thinking right about here-ish. Probably gonna switch to the green. I don't know yet. I don't really feel like working on this one on camera. It is a lot of concentration because it is mostly a graph and it does take a lot of my concentration, but I'm just showing where we are at with that one. So I am working on it, but because it's for me, it's definitely going to be a slower pace. And that was just one afternoon, and I did end up having to take it apart a bit because I did not like the way how sloppy my stitches were because it was my first time working with this weight. So we're going to go with the number 9. We're going to work on my bulkier one because I'm at my mesh spot and it's just a matter of chaining through. Okay, so this is my secondary ball. We're just going to move you over there and I will show this off again. So I have this one here, which is a green that matches up for my trim. I don't think I want to use the pink for the trim. I want it to be a little bit more of a contrast. So this is our front. See how we have a bunch of length in the back, so it's shorter in the front and way longer in the back. We have a medallion back there, and this is going to have to be edged to give it a proper neckline, and I'm going to want to edge down here on. It's just to throw on over whatever you're wearing. That's proper poncho. But I wanted a little bit bulky. This is where we are at here. So I have a secondary ball ready to go. I'm just going to take that out. I seem to have the driest mouth today. Excuse me one moment while I grab a quick sip of water. Ah, that's delicious. Just plain water. I always have my water nearby. When you're thirsty, that's a good thing. 1, 2, 3. Now my mom, who's had a lot of experience with crochet, is quite surprised that it's a 3 mesh, but it's not bad. It's not terribly see-through, but it is a little. So I'll probably be doing a 3, maybe 4 mesh with my thinner cottons here for mine. But we're going to have to see how that goes. Because who knows what I'll decide to do. I mean, I decided a lot of things and then changed my mind. That's because I'm allowed to. We're all allowed to change our mind whenever we want. And yeah, this is some pretty nice yarn. I don't know what kind it is. I cannot find it. I keep saying that because it's bothering me. It is. It really is. I'm usually pretty good at tracking down what kind of yarns they are. I've got this blue marbled stuff that I would like to get more of, and it's a European one. Oh, I can't think of the name. It's up at the top with my boucles. And I cannot find this kind. But I found that one, which was really difficult to find, but I found it. The gray, though. I have a gray up there that I couldn't figure out. It's got a bit of gray and purple, but I have a feeling that that's more of a hand-dyed, one-off, not manufactured in a factory by a man. Okay, sorry. The song lyrics kind of popping out here and there. My 3-year-old has decided she likes the song from the 90s about peaches. Because they were put there in a can by a man in a factory. She thinks it's great. But she also really enjoys Labyrinth. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I have to keep on singing You Remind Me of the Babe. She makes me go through it. She won't sing it with me, but I have to do it for her. And it has to be right. You get in trouble if you say it wrong. 2 and 3. So there's a good chance I will probably have to make a Goblin King for at least one of the kids. They quite like him. And I mean, it's David Bowie. I can't say that they're wrong. He's a great performer. Was a great performer, sorry. He's always one of my favorites. Nothing about his outfit or his hair or anything. They just love the fact that he's the Goblin King. I'm like, okay, awesome. But they also really like Ludo, the big hairy guy that says smell bad. Talks to rocks. He's pretty cool. So far, quite a few of the movies I've been showing my daughter that I loved as a kid, she's really taking to, which is nice because she's been a little bit off movies. Everything we've tried to show her, she's just like, ugh. Surprisingly, she really didn't enjoy Sing. Did not like it at all. I think it's okay. Not something I'm crazy about, but she really just, meh. So I think I see what kind of movies she likes. I think she's more into the fantasy because she is a unicorn girl. She loves her unicorns and dragons, so I can help her with that because I'm like that too. So I have a few up my sleeve. I've yet to show them the Never-Ending Story. The trauma of the horse will forever live on in my family in infamy. My mom took me to see it in the theater when I was 4. So that gives you an idea how old I am. And I loved it. Loved it. It's still my favorite movie. I did not love the horse sinking in the swamps of sadness. Artek. Yeah. Apparently, I really got very upset with my mother. I remember this in the dark theater. Nobody got mad at me. They understood my stressing out, and I was getting very, very, very worked up and telling my mom, don't let the horse die. She wanted to take me out of there because it was being a little disruptive, and a few people actually told her, don't let her watch the movie. We totally understand. They were all crying too because it was pretty intense. And these are grown-ups that were just like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? So I don't know if I want my daughters watching that. Like, the wolf didn't scare me. Nothing else got me. It was just that. That was too much for me. And to this day, I still look away. I've taught myself to look away. And I know every line to that movie, so I've had to look away a few times. It always makes me tear up, though. He does come back at the end, so that is a happy, happy thing. I'm glad I got to watch it all the way to the end and not had that trauma, because I felt complete and satisfied and super happy at the end, because as Bastion's flying over on the luck dragon, I am not thinking of his name, and he is the cutest thing ever. I love him so much. Falcor. Yeah, Falcor. Flying over the plains, the purple plains people. He sees Atreyu and Artek racing along underneath them and waving, and that made me so happy. I cried then too. So that gave me that happy ending. I will give it some thought if they're ready for that. They're not ready for the Dark Crystal. That's another one I absolutely loved when I was about 5. I loved the Dark Crystal. Those bird things should have been super disturbing, but I thought they were the coolest things. They're so evil. Evil. I just don't know if my younger one will like it. I think the older one might be able to dig it, but the younger one definitely will be no-go. And being that they're Jim Henson puppets, they are quite intrigued because we're a Jim Henson puppet family. We love our puppets. The Muppets, Sesame Street, Muppet Babies. If it's a puppet by Jim Henson, my family is in. We are all the way in. Because, of course, we are. I still remember when I heard he had passed away. I actually cried. I was super upset. I was in a state of shock. It was one of those famous people deaths that actually got to me. Not many do, but that one definitely did. Like, usually when somebody famous passes away, because I don't know them, I will say something along the lines like, I'll miss seeing their work. With him, it was more a big part of my childhood. I love his puppets. I mean, Labyrinth technically is a Jim Henson movie. And it should not be remade. Don't remake it. I don't think they should bother. I think it should just be re-released so people can take their kids to the theater and see it. Same with the original Willow. Please don't. Don't touch them. Don't improve them. Make them maybe a little brighter and easier to hear. Crisp them up a tiny bit, but don't let me notice that the backgrounds are cardboard. I don't want to. Don't ruin it, please. So here they're redoing the Lord of the Rings already, and I'm going, are you joking? Because the ones that were done by Peter Jackson are phenomenal. And already? I don't know how I feel about that. Elijah Wood is him. He's Frodo. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably end up watching it, but I probably won't like it very much. That I'll be grumpy on, because I remember that they're not even 20 years old. I think the oldest one might be 20 years old. I don't think. But it's just crazy. It's like having 3 Charlie and the Chocolate Factories pretty much in my lifetime. 3 of them. Like the first one's like a year or 2 before me, but close enough that I grew up with it, so I'm just okay. And I've given them all a chance, don't get me wrong. I haven't watched the newest one, but I will. But I'm not too excited about the idea of it because it is a childhood favorite book. I love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Didn't like the Great Glass Elevator as much, though. See? Mindless chaining. Sitting here thinking about movies and books and entertainment and just chaining along. And that's exactly what is with this pattern in particular. Once you get past the medallion, it is just a matter of chaining until you get your length. And then I will be looking at where we go from there, which I believe is a type of ribbing. I'm not sure. And I might not actually need the next ball, so I'll probably have this little ball left over. 1, 2, 3. Which might not be a bad thing. I don't know yet. I'll stick it in with ones on top that I have that are like part of sets, and that's just what I got left over. Wearing my Country Roads closed poncho. Feeling fancy. Super nice. Love it. Very comfortable. Doesn't make me feel self-conscious. It's a good length. And I'm pleased with it. Two and 3. I have a bunch of other yarn that I have to finish caking up. Finish organizing this corner. And that's super exciting to me because that means I'm so close. Considering like closing up the desk piece here instead of leaving it open all the time, because I can close it. And then I don't have it open all the time to see what's inside of there, which is a nice change. I do have another flat surface underneath that I can use for like my yarn winder and stuff. And stuff. My mom's been making fun of me for saying and stuff. She also did that to me when I went through my like phase, which I still have never really grown out of. Like everything, Betty, Barbie, what are you doing? Like, for sure. My mom was also the person that when my friends would call, they'd ask if I was there, and she'd say, yep, she sure is. I'd just sit there. You had to ask her if you wanted to talk to me. Sorry, friends. From when I was younger. Yeah. So people were like, you call me, I'm not calling you. I'm like, okay. Because it would always make them feel super anxious and uncomfortable. I tried explaining that, and she's like, no, it's funny. They didn't want to ask. Okay. I get it. I think it's kind of funny. I always did. But at the same time, I could see it from my friend's point of view where they were just like, I just don't want to call now. Because now I get really nervous when I have to call people or have video meetings and stuff like that. Just like, oh, I don't want to do this. Can I just pretend I'm sick? Something. Gotta work yourself up for it, right? Alrighty. I'm going to end that here today. I'm almost at the beginning. Yeah. I've got one little bit more to do. Anyway, I'm getting close to where I want to be to measure it and see how much I need to get done. So I'm going to say thanks for joining me here at All the Crackers in the Box. And I will see you again soon. Hopefully. Have a good day. Bye.